3 of 12 critically endangered iguanas that were smuggled out of the Bahamas have died. That news came late today, marring a celebration at their return home.
LaDawn Davis caught up with the director of the National Trust to talk about the case, which captured international headlines, and what steps are now being taken to protect these endangered species in the future.
It was a homecoming that was a long time coming for a group of iguanas taken far away from home, but only 9 of them survived after returning to the Bahamas. Sadly, 3 of the endangered rock iguanas died yesterday. One of them died en route to London in February. A British Airways flight accommodated their return following an international smuggling episode. 2 Romanian women stuffed them in socks and stashed them away in their luggage before they were discovered by British border enforcement officers. Executive Director of the Bahamas National Trust, Eric Carey, says the return of the endangered iguanas was a collaborative effort.
British Airways, the UK border force, everyone's been amazing, making sure that these animals were first taken care of and then returned home safely. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force took them yesterday after a short press event with the Minister of Environment and the Deputy Prime Minister. They took the iguanas, led by Director of BEST, Mr. Philip Weish, to San Salvador, where they were finally opened, because we didn't open the boxes here because they were sterile, and we didn't want to risk the chance of introducing disease.
According to a statement from the Bahamas Information Services, said the animals were in good condition when taken from boxes on Independence Day, but 3 of them were found unresponsive later on in the day. According to the statement, there may be several reasons for their demise. The remaining 9 readjusting iguanas are adjusting well. Meantime, Carey says the surviving iguanas have not yet been released into the wild for several reasons.
And they're now at the Gerace Research Center at a Head Start facility where they'll be held for a number of weeks until government decides where their final release point is. Because there are questions as to, should we release them back? Once we know where they came from, for sure, once we get the DNA and we know they came from Key X, the question is, do we risk releasing them into a critically endangered population, and if there is disease, wipe out the population? So a lot of us are thinking that we may probably release them on a new key, on a separate island nearby, and thereby establish a second backup population of the subspecies.
Meanwhile, Carey says the level of security, which apparently missed the reptiles between the Bahamas and London, is still being questioned and has prompted dialogue among key stakeholders.
People from the airport, the Defense Force, police, everybody, because there is a big question in our mind: how did we miss, when we scanned this luggage, how did we miss these iguanas getting out of the LPIA? And that's something we have to think about.
LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.